to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. As always, I am your host, Matt Brennan, bringing you all professional wrestling's news, notes, innuendos, and whatever else we can come up with in this world we love called professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it through another week. Chalk one up to us. All right. That's a big up to all of us. All right. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed Collision last night. It was a great show. Really good show. Had, not like a ton of like world beaters, not like it just was solid show with a really good crowd. So hopefully everybody got to check that out. If not, you need to go back, check it out on HBO Max, as that is where all the AEW streaming stuff is at. Speaking of which, pay-per-view going to be available on HBO Max coming up on the 20th when we have All Out live from Toronto. But as far as us, guys, number one, I know yesterday I ended up giving you the Facebook Live. I will tell you, I don't know what's been going on here with the old interwebs, the old internets that I'm dealing with here, but I literally yesterday, I go to hit my stop. I'm recording. Everything is going lovely. The show was a friggin', I'm just going to tell you, best show I've ever done. Best show I've ever done, right? But you will never know. But I go and I hit stop, and then everything is transferring, and then it goes back to the page where everything uploads from, and it's like non-existent. I do all my searching. I go through everything. The show that I recorded yesterday ends up somewhere in the internet black hole, and it will never be seen from again. So rather than taking another large chunk out of my day on a Saturday, I went ahead and just knocked out that live. But I think I accomplished almost everything I needed to accomplish, because regardless, it gets us to today, where we're going to recap Collision from last night. Like I said, decent show. And then we're going to give our week in review awards. And we have some big ones this week. And I will tell you, there was some tough ones this week. Where we had some great matches, where we had some great moments. I will tell you, promos not as stacked this week as what they have been in weeks past. So we will get to all of that here in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Collision, guys. Collision last night, once again, live from the ECW, live from the 2300 Arena, formerly known as the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, at the corner of Swanson and Rittner. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I love ECW. Right. I only talk it up every freaking chance I get, because it's literally one of my favorite time periods in all of wrestling. Just such an awesome time. So anytime I get to see stuff at the EC Dub, I'm super excited. That's why I loved with NWA Power, the new stuff that you're seeing on Roku, man, on Tuesdays. Like, they did their first little residency. Their first 3 shows, I think, were live from the EC Dub. So, and I thought it was great. You had a great crowd. Philly crowd's always solid. So, yeah, it is what it is. But last night, we're getting towards the end of this residency, as they call it, in the ECW Arena. I think next week is the last week for it. And you know what? I'm going to hate to see it go, but at the same time, I get the fact that, we got to make our rounds. I'm not sure what comes next, actually, for AEW. I would assume they're going to do some Canada shows, a string of Canada shows, since we have All Out coming up in Toronto. But I guess I should look ahead before I talk. You just never know. But let's go ahead and knock out Collision, guys. Again, crowd was very, very good. Crowd's been hype every single night. And I want to say this. Reason why is because, once again, you're doing live Collision shows. I think Collision comes off so much better when it's live. I mean, that's an obvious thing to say. It's not like it's out there I'm just some far-fetched thing that I'm throwing out a hot take or something. No, I get that that's kind of a normal take, but at the same time, when we've got it now, 3 weeks in a row, a live Collision, all 3 shows have been very, very solid, if not better than solid, and the crowds have been hyped. A taped Collision after Dynamite gives you a tired crowd. I've said that before, I was really excited. I got to attend a live Collision in Greenville, South Carolina a while back. It's been well over a year ago, and at that show was awesome. We had Ring of Honor taping stuff going on prior to the show, so our dark matches were part of Ring of Honor, and then, excuse me, after the show was over, after Collision was over with, they actually taped another couple episodes of Ring of Honor. And I was so out of it. It was like, here I am, a Ring of Honor fan. I love watching. It's such a high level of people that are up and comers in a lot of cases. And, the history of Ring of Honor is so great. So, for me, that was great thing. Get to watch some more Ring of Honor, and then by like the third match of that, I'm ready to go. My wife's ready to go. My kid's definitely ready to go. So the point is having these live collisions. If it's not enough, showing the crowd of what's going on. Hopefully, the reaction that we're getting from these matches and the reaction we're getting from the IWC, from the internet wrestling community, I know that their opinions mean absolutely jack shit, just like my own. But the reactions are good, and these live collisions are really working. Matter of fact, I think it's the best. The last three have been like the best string of shows that we've had in collisions since we left the residency in Texas from last summer. So, or from maybe it was last spring that they did that. Anyway, regardless. Really good stuff. Love the show. Scored it a B plus. That is a Dynamite B plus this week and a Collision B plus this week for AEW. So I'm going to say this again. AEW right now is doing some of the best work, especially storyline work, that we have done in years. And what's funny is I talked the other day about how big I have been on. I've been so happy with the Death Rider story recently. Ever since Moxley lost the belt, I feel like their direction and their stories have been so much better. What's funny is having a conversation with my wife last night, and we're talking a little AEW. I had paused Collision as we're having a little conversation, and she goes, my problem with AEW is the matches are always so great. She goes, but some of the stories really, really aren't grabbing me right now. And I said, really? Interesting. I said, just for instance, like what are you struggling with story wise? Like what's getting you? And she literally looks at me and she said, the Death Riders are driving me crazy. Like the Death Riders thing is not working. And I'm sitting here thinking, holy shit, I am literally talking like 2 shows in a row of how I like the Death Rider stuff more than I've ever liked it. Like it just shows you how subjective some of this stuff is, and it also shows you what opinions are. And that's just what they are. They're opinions, and we all have them, and some of them are shit and some of them aren't. Most of mine probably are, but at least they're takes that are coming from me. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I own my shit. But I think the Death Riders look great right now. Speaking of which, we open this bad boy up with Jon Moxley versus Daniel Garcia. This match was scheduled from last week. Remember, we had Moxley coming out Wednesday, says something in Garcia's ear. We still don't know what that is. Pardon me. But the whole thing here, this whole Moxley Garcia, I'm not going to call it a feud. All we're doing is we are getting so much more out of, in my opinion, Daniel Garcia, because there's more coming. By the way, the match itself, outstanding. I'm talking transition after transition, hold after hold. When it got violent, it got violent. Like, this match gave me literally everything. These two could have had zero interaction prior to this match, and the match would have been an absolute banger. Add the story stuff that we're getting, especially the unknowns that we're getting with this, with Garcia, and I just thought this match hit. It was a hell of a way to open this thing up. Also, wanted to give some props to Marina Shafir. All right, we don't see her much in ring. We get that. We've had a couple little showdowns with Willow in the last year or so, whatever. But Marina Shafir is doing some pretty decent work that's going very unnoticed. Her intimidation level right now, I know that's such a stupid phrase to use, but she's the heater, right? And right now I feel like she's doing a really good job. It's almost like the less that we get out of her, the better it gets as far as like reactions, fighting, definitely words. But like last night, she slaps Moxley around before he comes out to get him fired up. Like that's the type of stuff that I think is really kind of leading her to maybe do something a little different and a little special moving forward. So we'll see. I just feel like she's been such a big part of this story for so long with the Death Riders that we really haven't seen a ton of her except playing the role of the heater. And I don't know. I just feel like some of the character work, it's going very unnoticed right now, but I just, you give credit where credit's due. I've always done that. And, for this one, out of nowhere, I'm saying Marina Shafir. Really good job. Really good job. So, Garcia ends up losing this match. Moxley goes over. It was a back and forth throughout, man. It really was. Both the guys got their licks in. It ends up, we had a little roll up from Garcia, which is how Moxley beat him last week. And then I'll be damned, Another transition. Let's see if I can yawn a couple more times. But another transition, and then Garcia gets rolled up. Moxley gets the 1, 2, 3, and match is over. And Garcia is just like a freaking whipped puppy. Like, he is so distraught. You can see it in his eyes, just like the look of lost. Like, what do I have to do here? And that's what he says afterwards. He lets people know that, he hasn't been good enough. He just hasn't been good enough. And I'm telling you, we are getting a shift in Daniel Garcia. Without a freaking doubt in my mind, we're getting a shift in Daniel Garcia. He shoved Daddy Magic after. Daddy Magic's out there. By the way, once again, great job on commentary, playing the role of the favorite because he's with Garcia the whole way, doesn't hide it. But yeah, he shoves Daddy Magic, who's trying to console him after the loss. It's his best friend. Tells the camera once again to get out of his face. Like, we're seeing some hostility coming from Daniel Garcia, but you also still see him interacting with the crowd in a positive way. He give a kid a high five before he goes down, and then shoves other people out of his way. Like, I think that he has such an internal conflict right now with what he's doing. And if that's what they're trying to get across, he's doing great. I mean, they really are. It's fantastic work. But I have a feeling that this conflict is going to end up being, do I stay the favorite and continue to lose? Or do I turn this whole thing around, start acting to do whatever it takes to actually win, i.e., like the Death Riders? All right, I'm telling you. And tell me that Daniel Garcia doesn't fit in to the Death Riders. I mean, hell, think about that. We haven't had Pac for a long time. Him and his street clothes, they're gone. He's still dealing with a very serious injury. So to me, there's a missing place here. But I have a feeling that the Death Riders are going to grow a little bit. The other thing is, Gabe Kidd isn't going to be around forever. He's going to take his ass back to New Japan. So he's here for a rental. So it's not like we're going to get a lot out of him moving forward either. I think that this is going to end up dying out probably shortly after All Out. I hope I'm wrong, because I want to see Gabe Kidd every day. But we shall see, guys. After this, we had an awesome little moment with Big Bill backstage. Great little promo. Bill angry as hell, going off on Philadelphia. Brian Keith, the bounty hunter Brian Keith, not the bad apple anymore, but the bounty hunter Brian Keith, chiming in, doing his thing, which is still really good work on his part. I would like to see him get a little more clean mic work, where he's not just doing the chiming in, he gets to talk. But as long as Bill's doing that, we're probably not getting it anytime soon. But the best part about, and like I said, Bill's promo was aggressive. Right? It's aggressive. And that's what I want to see right now out of Big Bill. He is the biggest monster in AEW, right? I know we got Wardlow back coming. We got all these monsters that claim Shane Taylor thinks he's a monster, blah, blah, blah. But I'm telling you, no one matches up size for size, pound for pound, strength for strength with Big Bill. I mean, he's outwardly way further advanced than most as far as the monster skill set, right? I mean, the fucking guy's 7 foot tall. But he calls out somebody I wasn't expecting when he calls out Eddie. He talks about how being from New York, that's the mean streets where he grew up, and he wasn't the only one that's doing it. As soon as he said that, my ears perked up, right? Because I just thought, oh, shit, the Mad King. Oh, where are we getting here? Where are we getting the Mad King? And it's been so long since Eddie's been out. Like, which really sucks, because he was doing the best work of his career. And guys, if you're not familiar with Eddie Kingston, and I know he's not for everybody, but he is for me. When he is on, he is the best thing, in my personal opinion, in AEW. There's no one that hits as hard as he does. There's no one that sacrifices the way that he does. Which is why he's out right now. I mean, that's what happened to him over in New Japan, basically getting both legs completely surgically repaired because both legs shattered after being hit on a barricade. Like, I don't know, but if we're getting Eddie Kingston back anytime soon, I've heard that he's healthy and ready to start coming back. I heard the time was right. They were looking for a way to fit him back in. Well, damn it, I think we found it, right? Give me Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill, and what better way to get Eddie over coming back in than to freaking defeat the monster of Big Bill. Like, this whole thing, that's great storytelling. Tony Khan, great job, fantastic job. So we'll move on here, guys. We had one other thing. if Eddie Kingston comes back versus Big Bill and the first match isn't like a freaking New York street fight or something like that, I'm going to be a little disappointed. All right. The other thing is I would love to see Eddie come back next week, because if anyone fits in ECW style in the modern day wrestler, if anyone fits it, it's Eddie Kingston, right? You could see him thriving in that environment with Sandman and Dreamer and Raven and Sabu and RVD and the Dudleys and Jerry Lynn, and I could go on and on and on. So, let's go. Let's go. Give me Eddie. Give me Bill. Let's let it ride. I cannot wait to see what happens with it, guys. FTR, last week we had that little showdown. The Ring of Honor people had to come keep him from beating up and separate Christian and Edge from FTR. And they end up setting up this match with Adam Priest, who gets to find a partner. He's like, get any partner you want. And who does he get? The Dynamite Kid, Tommy Billington. All right. And, when we look back at the history of the Dynamite Kid, still thought of as being one of the greatest undersized wrestlers of all time, if not the greatest. He's so appreciated. The stuff that he was doing in the 80s is stuff that people didn't do. Right? Now, we talk about the guy being one of the biggest assholes in the history of the business as far as the things he did backstage, but don't take anything away from what the guy did in the ring. So Tommy Billington's back. He was hurt, the new Dynamite Kid. He had been banged up, so interesting to see him back. But this was a squash match. I don't really know what we got out of this match. My notes on it, what I put was, it was meh, not sure what was accomplished. I really don't. I mean, Billington didn't come out looking strong. Adam Priest didn't come out looking strong. They didn't even finish the match with a shatter machine. They finished the match with a splash off the top rope. Like, I don't know. I don't understand this match. A squash match leading into All Out, like, I'm okay with that, but this one here didn't work. Like, the whole thing just seemed a little off to me. And honestly, that's why I ended up scoring the show a B+, because this missed for me. And I don't know why. It left a weird thing in my stomach, just thinking, like, why did this match happen? What was the direction of this? Did FTR gain anything out of it? Even with the promo post match with Stokely, I feel like nothing was gained here, and I don't believe that they have a chance against Edge and Christian. I just don't. Even though it's in their hometown of Toronto, we'll see what happens here, guys. The other thing I wanted to mention about this match, which has nothing to do with the match, AEW now for 2 weeks in a row, they're running these tweets, the graphics of the live tweets that's going on dealing with the show. That graphic's too big. All right. Can you hear my kid yelling? I mean, it's just unreal. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse hurts sometimes, people. It hurts for a kid that literally gets everything he wants. It's miss one show. There you go. So I don't even know what to say. So there you go. Wow, completely lost my train of thought. Hell of a show we're having here today, isn't it? The graphics, the tweet graphics, they're awful. They're too big, and honestly, they take away from the action in match. I know that sounds petty. I know that I'm nitpicking. I get it, but I like seeing the tweets. I'm not anti. That we're pulling that in. We're showing that there's live action going on here. People are watching and responding, but we need to cut down on the graphic a little bit. That's all I'm saying. So there you go. After this, guys, we had another little vignette piece in the jungle with the Outrunners. It was very Predator, right? And then we get a little team up, right? We get a nice little partner coming in with the Outrunners. And to be honest with you, with all the tag team action that we've had, I wouldn't mind seeing the Outrunners in a trios go. It's not a bad little thought here, especially as over as they are. But who do they meet up with? Well, first they see the boys. Right. If you know anything about the boys, you know who's coming next. And it is one of my favorite Ring of Honor people. I know he's not for everybody, but the Peacock, Dalton Castle. I absolutely love the Peacock. Number one, Dalton Castle is a legitimate dude. He can go. He's like a high level amateur wrestler, right? The dude is thought of as being so respected that he's a shoot guy. Guy can kick ass. Guy can go. And then he's the Peacock. Like, he is there for show and there for shine. And I love it. Very few bad matches with Dalton Castle. Same thing can be said for the Outrunners recently. So I like this. And I like that there's some unknown with it. I really do. And at the end, we had the we had the triple handshake and all of that. And I'm excited to see what happens with this. And you know what? I'm glad they're finding something for the Outrunners right now because let's be honest, they deserve to be on television. They're doing great work. They're over like rovers. So there you go. That brought us to the All-Star 8 women's tag team match. You notice that recently that all 8 person matches are now all-star matches, even if not everyone's an all-star. Just saying. Just saying. This one was a lot of all-stars. We had a lot of all-stars here. Tony Storm, my gal, the timeless one, along with Mina Shirakawa, Chris Statlander, Harley Cameron. They go over the team of Triangle of Madness. That is Tekla, Sky Blue, Julia Hart. They tagged up with Megan Bayne. Not enough Megan Bayne in this match, to be honest with you. But I will say this, Chris Statlander looked fantastic. Once again, Stat comes out to me looking stronger than anybody in this match. And I'm great with it. I think it's great. We're really seeing Stat going through some stuff. Another interaction with Wheeler Yuta as well. There's something really big coming here, and I'm super excited for it. Now, here's the other thing with this. All right, I said Tony and the girls they go over here, which I kind of thought would happen. I figured we would get more Megan Bayne, Tony Storm. I don't know why I mentioned that, but at the same time, we didn't get this. Regardless, the Timeless One and her crew, they go over only to get the hell beat out of them post match by the heel team. And because of it, by the way, Penelope not present. I said that would happen. Nobody allowed ringside. Didn't know that. But Jamie Hayter comes down, makes the save. Right, and you know what? Looked pretty good. I really, I like that. They've kind of eased her back in this time, and I think that's a good move here. But after this, we got the all the people in the match. We're getting ready. Tony's still about this open challenge, and she basically says that all out. Let's get this done. You and you and basically we're going to get now Tony Storm, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and Tekla all one-on-one fatal four-way for the AEW Women's Championship. I would like to say that I'm confident that Tony goes over here and continues this run. I don't know. I really don't know because we're seeing some pretty special stuff with Statlander right now too. So we shall see. I'll save those predictions for later. All right. After this, guys, we got the commentary coming down. Little promo action. Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, and Don Callis. They let us know that they're all, I guess, going after Hangman Page now that Kenny Omega's out of the picture. Josh Alexander challenges Hangman for a match at Dynamite for next week. Also, Kyle Fletcher challenges Hangman for the AEW Championship. That match, by the way, non-title. But then Fletcher basically challenges Hangman for the title at All Out in Toronto, saying he wants to become a double champion. So I guess we're going to get that match. Seems a little thrown together, but I'm excited to see the match. So I'm a little torn on whether or not I'm positive or negative over this. The one thing I will say is Kyle Fletcher gets better on the mic every time he touches it. So, great job. Can't say the same for Josh Alexander. It's just so weird since we actually seen him talk. It was almost like it felt a little bit forced last night. But regardless, not bad. But we know we're gonna get Hanger. Seems a little odd in some spots, but I like the plan. All right, I like the plan that we're going with it. I have a feeling we'll get some more Omega coming back in this stuff as well. All right, that took us to our main event for the night, guys, as we had Kenosuke Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe. If Briscoe wins this match, he's going to get a shot at Kyle Fletcher. Well, guess what? Briscoe does not win this match, which is kind of how I figured this would go. But I will say this, we had the stuff we talked about Okada and Takeshita. Okada basically calling him a bitch, telling him to stay in his shadow, whatever. We're getting Okada Takeshita. But upon the entry of this match, Takeshita told Josh Alexander he didn't need his help. Go on backstage, I got this by myself. And him and Briscoe delivered a banger. I mean, it was a hell of a match. It sucks how it ended, but it was a good part of the story. MJF, fresh off of his marriage, by the way, congratulations, Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Alyssa Atote. it's very nice. Congratulations on the marriage from Friday night. Wasn't expecting MJF to show up Saturday, but he is there. Interferes, knocks Briscoe off the top. Takeshita gets the win, and then we get the interaction in the ring with Takeshita, MJF, and Callis. And Takeshita not happy again. Like this, the whole thing is it's blowing up. Takeshita is he's about done with this damn thing, and I cannot wait for it. It is going to be so damn good. When Takeshita makes the turn here, he is going to be so ultra uber babyface over. It is going to be like some stuff the AEW hasn't seen in a long time. Just my personal opinion. But and again, I think he's doing special stuff. So this match, great match. Love the story stuff at the end of it. We know now we're going to get MJF and Briscoe some more. I love that because this story was far from finished. I think we got some really good stuff in the works right now, guys, and that's the why I believe AEW is so damn over. I do. Even if you're not watching right now, you really should be. All right, I scored the show a B plus. Another outstanding AEW show, guys. All right, we're running out of time. A little less than 4 minutes to go here. I need to rock out the Slow Burn Week in Review Awards, guys. Our match of the week came last night on Collision. Jon Moxley over Daniel Garcia. I thought that was match of the week. Honestly, the second place, my runner-up, I gave it to Sami Zayn versus John Cena in the no contest they had with the interference of Brock Lesnar on Friday Night SmackDown. So, some decent stuff. Promo of the week, this one was weird, all right? I went WWE overall for this one. I had Punk and Becky on their tandem promo on Raw as my promo of the week. Number 2 was Cena getting me in the feels on SmackDown. Moment of the week, guys, this one was easy for me. AJ Lee jumping into the arms of CM Punk. I just thought that was it. That's one of the moments of the year, in my opinion. I just love that. My other moment of the week was Okada calling Takeshita a bitch. I just think that's a moment that we're not going to forget for a very long time. And I'm so excited to see Okada versus Takeshita, and I know it's coming. I cannot wait. The other one I wanted to throw in, didn't give it a runner-up even, but MJF getting married once again. Congratulations to Maxwell Jacob Friedman and his very, very lucky lady. I hope she knows how lucky she is. And then my show of the week this week, guys, SmackDown got my number 1 show, and my runner-up was a tie between Dynamite and Collision, both coming in with solid B pluses, but we gave SmackDown the show of the week. So once again, rundown, show of the week was SmackDown. Runner-up was a tie between Dynamite and Collision. Moment of the week, AJ jumping into the arms of her husband, CM Punk. The runner-up was Takeshita and Okada, and we know what's coming out of that. Also, happy marriage to MJF. Promo of the week, Punk and Becky Lynch on Raw, the little tandem promo that they had. Runner-up was Cena on SmackDown. And then my match of the week this week, once again, from Collision last night, Jon Moxley over Daniel Garcia, with the runner-up being Sami Zayn and John Cena's no contest, thanks to Brock Lesnar's interference on SmackDown. So it was a hell of a week. We got through it. We had some ups, we had some downs, we had some show changes, but we made it through it, and I'm glad I was able to get it all to you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy your football, and it is a hell of a time to be alive, folks. Let me tell you. I will be back with you guys on Tuesday as I recap Monday Night Raw and give my NXT previews. So you won't see me tomorrow, but you will see me on Tuesday unless we have another, God forbid, another emergency because of horrible technology within the Slow Burn. So, guys, thanks for joining us right here on the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. And remember, in this world, we're wrestling everything. Stay on top. Thanks for watching the Slow Burn.